What were nightmares called before nightmare was used in that sense? Apparently, the word nightmare has only been used in the sense of bad dream since circa 1829. Before then, the term referred to the agent causing the dreams. A mare is lower than mera, mare, goblin, incubus. What word or phrase was used earlier? I'm interested, in particular, in the meaning of bad dream as opposed to creature causing bad dreams or medical condition, fever nocturnus. I'm interested in all time periods, Anglo-Saxon/Old English, Middle English, Early Modern English, and Modern English. Progress. Anglo-Saxon. I found Sweffen's Womart sleep noise as a possibility. Ohm defines this as dream tumult, vision, and I can find a few uses in the corpus. Alam Panitia suggests one dream, though this seems to have the primary or exclusive sense of fit of madness. Dream/dream seems to mean song, music rather than dream. Middle English. The med has. Dwelsin. Dreaming/dream/dream/dream, apparently not attested with the meaning or dream, but more like a vision, in sleep, included nightmare-type visions or dreams. Night phrase/night dread, night fear. Incubus, Alam Panitia suggests this was used from the 18th century on, though this suggests, to me, the agency rather than the condition. It seems to have been used as far back as 1561 in the sense of night terror, not quite the sense I hoped for. Slep, typically meaning sleep, but also meaning dream, nightmare. Bish daughter, apparently used to refer to a nightmare by at least one source. The modern reflex is obvious, and suggests that this was never its primary meaning. Ephialtes/Ephialtes de Mo, Westerwell suggests the former and the dictionary mentions the latter. Seems to primarily refer to the cause rather than the condition. Modern English. Rodri suggests ill dreams for mid-19th century. Of course, from the early 19th century on, nightmare became common and soon pushed all others out of use except for poetic.
One possibility could be wodan dream. Before getting to this point, I'd like to add that whereas the spelling nightmare is indeed recent, see the corresponding Googlegram, more archaic spellings are reported in the OED, viz. Nightmare 1290, Nightmare 1340, and Nightmare 1440. Leaving aside older spelling of nightmare, I also came across an article on Google Books suggesting that when preceded by a wood or wodan, then the dream turned out to be a nightmare. This is in line with wodan's main domains of death, war, and afterlife. The article oldest quote is circa 890, and there are also quotes from Alfric of Ancient. Unfortunately, the pages after 161 are not available from Google Books. Update. Then, starting with the 18th century, the Latin word incubus was in use. But that's not Old English anymore, I'm afraid. It's still used in Italian, under the form incubo, actually.
As another contender for what nightmares were called before it got its current meaning, I proffer Ephialtes. Adam Online's entry for Ephialtes says, nightmare or demon that causes nightmares, see point 1600, from GK. Ephialtes, name of a demon supposed to cause nightmares. The ancient explanation is that it was from Ephelesthai, to leap upon, but OED finds considerable phonological difficulties with this. This entry leaves some ambiguity whether or not Ephialtes was used to describe a bad dream or was specifically the name the demon believed to be responsible. Webster's Online Dictionary has information from the 1913 and 1828 editions. From the 1913 edition we read, 1. The nightmare. Date Ephialtes was first used in popular English literature, sometime before 1321. From the 1828 edition we get, noun, the nightmare. By using the definite articles before nightmare and nightmare, Webster's dictionary implies that Ephialtes refers to a specific thing, namely the demon believed to cause bad dreams. A Dictionary of Hallucinations, by Jan Dirkblom, has considerably more information about terms used to describe nightmares and other human perceptions. Excerpts of some entries are provided. On page 128 we find a definition for daymare, daymare also known as Ephialtes vigilantium. The term daymare is indebted to the Old English noun mare, which means hag or goblin. The definitions of mar and mare, male and female love phantom, are found on page 317. Both of these entries reference a book by William Heinrich Roscher, 1845–1923, entitled Ephialtes, a pathological mythological treatise on the nightmare in classical antiquity. Finally, on page 357, there is an extended entry for nightmare. Nightmare, also known as ephialtes nocturnus, dream anxiety attack, REM anxiety dream, REM nightmare, and D-nightmare. In 1830, the Scottish physician Robert Macnish, 1802 to 1837, qualified the nightmare as follows. Nightmare may be defined as a painful dream, accompanied with difficult respiratory action, and a torpor in the powers of volition. The affection, the ephialtes of the Greeks, and incubus of the Romans, is one of the most distressing to which human nature is subject. From these entries, it appears that ephialtes is used in a clinical sense, or it is differentiated between ephialtes vigilantium and ephialtes nocturnus. Also, there is evidence that nightmare was used in a clinical sense. It does not say if nightmare was used informally to describe a bad dream. Etymonline's entry for nightmare says, late 13c, an evil female spirit afflicting sleepers with a feeling of suffocation, compounded from night plus mare goblin that causes nightmares, incubus, meaning shifted mid-16c. From the incubus to the suffocating sensation it causes. Sense of any bad dream first recorded 1829, that of very distressing experience is from 1831. Emphasis mind. Although, as the original question reports, the first recorded use of nightmare for any bad dream was in 1829, the meaning shifted in the mid-1500s from the incubus to the distress it caused. From engrams.googlelabs.com we can compare the usage of ephialtes with nightmare between 1800 and 2000. It is clear from the following two images that nightmare is, and has been, in much wider use than ephialtes and nightmare.
A little late, but nonetheless. The word dream was used for both pleasant and unpleasant dreams. It is so in Middle English as well. Dream. A vision experience in sleep, a dream, a nightmare, a prophetic dream. Ephialtes was used as nightmare as well, but it also meant the demon that caused it, so I don't think it classifies to your query. Old English dream, as mentioned before, didn't seem to have the same meaning as today, or it had a second meaning that hasn't been recorded. The words swefn and geisai seem to have meant dream. Swefn originally meant asleep, as other etymologically cognate nouns in other languages, Lithuanian supnus, Old Church Slavonic sunu, and the Romanic words French songe, Spanish sueño, Italian sogno, all from Latin somnium, from pi asterisk swepno dash, cognate with Greek hypnos winky face. Old English had elfadel, elf, plus adl, disease, sickness, which meant a nightmare, since they thought elves caused them. etymology.com on elf, n.
This is